Tired of the constant struggle between work and life as a business owner? In this video, I'm breaking down the essentials from the common challenges that entrepreneurs face when it comes to time management to honoring both your professional and personal priorities and mastering a balanced schedule. And because life isn't always linear, we're also diving into how to adapt your schedule to the ever-changing seasons of life. And more importantly, aligning your energy and your capacity for what works for you throughout the year. So stick around because I can't wait to share how you can reclaim your time for productivity, well-being, and long-term success. I'm Lydia Lee. I'm a work reinvention coach and solopreneur strategist at Screw the Cubicle. And today I'm recording this video for you in beautiful sunny Sayulita, Mexico. So if you've seen me in videos before, you might notice a little change in my Pantone coloring of my skin because I've been getting a ton of beautiful sun at the playa here all week. So if you're new to this channel, in the last decade, I've been supporting budding and growing business owners to build meaningful work and create business models that align with their lifestyle choices. And I talk a lot about those topics around lifestyle businesses and a minimalist business on this channel. So make sure that you subscribe and also hit the notification bell button to be the first to know when I drop a video every single month. There are a lot of common challenges that business owners face when it comes to managing their time and energy and creating a balanced schedule. Some of them are things like prioritizing business activities first on their schedule before plotting in their own personal priorities, which then leads to burnout and a feeling of unfulfillment because life really just seems all about work all the time. And if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. The other piece is working to please clients and at the beck and call of all your clients, instead of honoring the boundaries that you need to do great work for them, and also constructing a way of managing your interactions with clients in ways that honor your own ways of communication and your style of working. And then a big one here, which I definitely suffered with for many years, is expecting our energy level to be the same 365 days a year. And from January to February, we're doing the same kind of output of work that we kind of have gotten familiar with when it comes to, if we had a history of working in corporate or in 9 to 5 and instilling that same mode of operation into our business as well, right? And I'm going to share a little bit about kind of how to deal with this, but I know it really just made me feel so tired and exhausted at the end of the year when I'm so busy keeping up with like the Joneses of the business world and seeing, colleagues and peers launching things all the time and thinking that I have to move in that speed in order to be successful as well. And then another personal challenge, right, that I face and a lot of my clients face is kind of doing too many things in one day or doing all the varieties of things that we think we have to do in our business in one day and then getting nothing done, like 25 things on our plates, but actually nothing really gets completed and then never really feeling that sense of momentum and completion when we have several projects on the go for our businesses. So I want to hear from you first. How are you experiencing some of your challenges when it comes to a balanced schedule? Do you resonate with some of the things of the challenges that I just mentioned, or do you have some new ones to add to the list just so that we know that we all share these things? Share that in the comments. Let me know what you're going through, and I would love to read them as well. I love to share 3 tips from my work with my own clients in helping them prioritize what is truly essential to begin with in what they want to move forward with in their business so that it doesn't feel like they're doing all the things to be successful and instead really using the power of constraints to laser in and focus on what is really going to build momentum for the next step of growth for their business, because it can always seem like you have to do all the things, but you do not. So depending on the stage of business you're in, that will depend on what you do prioritize. And I think sometimes it can be very distracting when we look at businesses that we admire out there, whether it's our own coaches or colleagues or people that are kind of ahead of us in the business world. We tend to want to emulate what they're doing. But you are kind of like, especially if you're starting a business, you are in grade 1 of your business and you're trying to mimic what's going on in a grade 5 business, right? So you're going to be doing a lot of things a little bit backwards, right? And it's not going to be helpful to you, because then you'll start to have imposter syndrome and you're going to start to compare yourself to a business that isn't where you're at. So it's really important to know where you are in your business and in the stage you're in, and what's actually going to move the needle for what's truly next. Which brings me to my next point of using what's available to you instead of trying to always learn new things and do things that are not in your zone of genius and having more time wasted trying to do that. Is most likely that you have some interesting opportunities that are right for you right now. And that could be what I call like low-hanging fruit strategy. That might be look like the ecosystem of a network or community or peers you've already built social equity with to market to, or using partners of people that you already know, or just in platforms that you're most familiar with, as a way of marketing your business, growing your business, instead of taking on complicated marketing strategies that take forever to learn and take forever for an algorithm to kind of, be ready to show you off to the entire world. And sometimes simplifying your strategy to what you already have in front of you and leveraging your strengths is one of the most productive things you can do to actually create momentum and results for your business. And the third tip is, whatever that low-hanging fruit strategy is for you to start with, you want to always eat the frog, as they say, right, in the beginning of the day. I find that's been really helpful for me personally, because sometimes I can get back to my tendency of people pleasing throughout the day, where I might prioritize other people's needs before my own, especially my clients. When I start the day without opening my inbox, not going into the online world and getting distracted by messages and requests, I will do my top 3 mini tasks that I know if shit hits the fan for the rest of the day, these 3 things get done. And it's something that I know is for me and my business, and I prioritize it before anything starts for the day. All right, now I want to share with you a little sneak peek of what my schedule looks like as a way of just creating a little bit of structure and inspiration for you right now, that maybe you can start doing that for yourself at the moment for your ideal, what I call feel-good schedule for your life and your work. And it's been something I've been mastering over the years, right? About what works for me and my energy levels and how I am productive or most productive in my different weeks. And if you are you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm a big fan of time blocking and theme days. And as you can see on the schedule, I have been able to do that in my routine and my rituals to make sure that I am working on the right things in my business and honoring when I'm best to show up for different types of activities in my business, so that I'm always doing my best work, right? So Mondays for me, I never have clients. I really just prepare for the week. And this is something that I love starting the week doing, and scheduling things ahead of time so that I don't have to think about emails or content when I'm busy working with clients in the midweek, and be able to just know once it's done, and I'm done for the week, right? And I do a lot of my marketing activities, like podcast pitching, things like that in the beginning of the week. Then we go into the middle of the week, which is usually my time to work with clients or talk to potential clients that are interested to work with me in discovery calls. So anything in yellow here that you see are really client work, right? And I am just most energized in the middle of the week working with clients. I don't do any marketing during that time. I don't do anything but really focus on client work. And that really helps me to, I think, do even better work for my clients, because I'm in the zone of what they're doing all week there. And then I end the week again with no clients, right? This is sort of where I deal with my systems of my business. Money dates, you can see here, are where I really look at ways of how I can be earning more, making sure that my financial accountability is intact for my business. And for someone who avoided looking at numbers, back in the day, this is definitely a ritual that's been very much giving to my business, right? And anything that I'm learning or coaching with my own coach, all of this happens on a Friday. And there are lots of flex time, lots of flex space that you might see on the schedule here, because I need that buffer of personal time in order to feel re-energized again to be working on my clients. So feel free to take a little screenshot of the schedule. Make one of your own on an Excel sheet, or Canva or whatever it is. Maybe just make a sticky note wall of what is your ideal feel good schedule. And I think that's going to help you really reimagine how you want to spend your time and notice and observe how you like to work and how you like to show up for your business in the most ideal way. And finally, adapting my schedule to the changing seasons of life has been a big, important piece of making my schedule feel really right for my life. And there's been so many ways that I think I've evolved, in how I see what a beautiful business schedule could look like with my ideal life schedule, right? And that changes every year depending on what I'm prioritizing and what's important to me, like, for example, taking care of family or prioritizing other projects in my life and making sure that my business is still trucking on while those things are happening in my life as well. So the need for flexibility while maintaining a structure really does support our productivity. And I wanted to show you some examples of like what's working for me right now, and maybe it'll spark a little bit of inspiration for your life as well. So here you see my ideal seasons right now of life. This sort of also pertains to my business. When it comes to spring, even though my usual home base of Bali, of course, is mainly summer, but I do still see the world in seasons. In springtime, it's creativity for me. I love to really, really use this part of my year to be producing things, producing new offers, producing new frameworks for my body of work, planting seeds from my audience of new concepts and philosophies I might be working on in my work. And my brain and my heart is really aligned with this energy of creativity during these months of the year, right? Usually around like February to like March, maybe April, my creativity spark is really on at that time. Summer is where I usually travel back to my old stomping grounds of Vancouver. Is a season I use for building community, building networks, and nurturing my current clients and serving those clients instead of actually always inviting new people always to my business, right? That might also look like guesting on more podcasts to share great stories and information about my business, and then checking up on existing clients and doing more with them and having more long-term investment of time and money with existing clients versus just casting a wider net all the time and marketing my business. And in the fall is where I activate some big projects that I already worked on in the springtime, right? In my creativity mode. And this is where I might launch a new product. I might welcome new clients at that point, do more discovery calls. I might do more market research and even execute things like a different marketing campaign or a different way of bringing in fresh clients to my business. And winter for me is kind of like hibernation bear season. I love to clean up, sort of housekeep a bit of my business, really look at the back end operations and make sure that everything that I'm working on and the systems that are automated and non-automated systems are still feeling good with me. And if I need to bring on somebody to help me with that or hire out, right, some people to clean up some of the procedures and processes and technical things in my business that makes life easy for me, this is the time that I do that, right? And I also look under the hood a little bit of my programs and look at my surveys. I talk to my clients of what can be improved and refined so that when the new year hits, right, in January for me, I have a plan of how to continuously be better, right? Not just bigger in my business, but to be better in my business and serve myself and my clients is in the most powerful way. So looking at your seasons of your business and where your energy outputs, where you're not the same person 365 days a year, I think is super important in maintaining that balance and harmony for how we want to show up for our businesses. And most importantly too, is to know that in different seasons of your life, you might have other family, personal relationship priorities that you want to plot in ahead of time before the year starts, or really anytime you start to do it is super important so that you can account for that and make sure that they are part of your business priorities, right? Because nothing is more important than you being able to live the life that feels right for you, because that's the point of having that business and that freedom to give you that space to be able to live your life. So I want to really hear from you as well. What has this when you've been listening to this video, what sparked some inspiration for you? How do you want to design your schedule? How are you defining your seasons of life in your business and your personal life? I would love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you so much for spending time with me, taking a sneak peek at my schedule and my seasons. And I would love to hear more about yours as well. I will see you in the next video.